Good afternoon. At this time, I'd like to call to order the April 19th, 2023 Pollyant Trail Management Council meeting and pay our respects to the flag, and Vice Chair Brakefield, if you lead us in invocation after the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Lord, thank you for giving us the most celebrated holy day of the year and your sacrifice on the cross and your resurrection 2 days later. Now we ask you to give us wisdom to do your work with the trail and do the best we can for our communities. We ask for peace, blessing, and love, especially for our host township, Oxford. In the Lord's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Okay, if we can get a roll call, Secretary McDonald.
Yes, for attendance of the members of the council, Ed Brakefield,
Here.
Bruce Pearson, absent, Matt Pfeiffer, Aaron Watley,
Yes. Here.
Curtis Wright,
Here.
Jonathan Nold, Mike McDonald here, Allison Kemp, Mr. Madore.
Here.
Okay, we do have a quorum.
Okay, good. Okay, just before we approve the agenda, I did send out an email this morning. I actually sent out two. One earlier for the resolution to approve the Oakland County Parks and Recreation Grant Program. But I also, this morning, information came in late last night to potentially approve a Eagle Scout project. So what I did in your packet, if council is in favor of amending the agenda, I put the revised agenda in there if it's approved, and then the two items to be added are items 8 and item 10A. And with that, there's a motion to approve the amended agenda, and then also the Eagle Scout project proposal is item 8, and then also again the resolution that was previously emailed to you back, I think, on Monday for that. So if council's in favor.
Mr. Chair, I move to amend the April 19th council agenda meeting to add item 8, presentation Eagle Scout project, and item 10A, resolution for support for the grant application to Oakland County Parks and Rec.
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Councilor Madore, second by Vice Chair Brakefield to approve the agenda as amended. Any further questions? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That motion carries. On to the consent agenda. Consent agenda includes approval of the March 15, 2023 meeting minutes, the bills in the amount of $4,588.50 for March, financial reports for March, trail manager report for April, and I also put the Oakland County Parks and Recreation grant resolution approved by the Village of Leonard as part of the consent agenda. Any questions on the consent agenda? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion to approve the consent agendas.
Second. Okay, motion by Vice Chair Brakefield, second by Councilor Watley to approve the consent agenda to include the following items: approval of March 15, 2023 meeting minutes, bills to be paid in the amount of $4,588.50 for March of 2023, receive and file financial reports for March 2023, trial manager report for April 2023, and the Oakland County Parks and Recreation grant resolution. Okay, we have motion and second on that. If we can get a roll call, please, Secretary McDonald.
Mr. Brakefield,
Yes?
Mr. Watley,
Yes.
Mr. Wright,
Yes.
Mr. McDonald, yes, Mr. Madore.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, the motion carries. On to public comment. Any public comment? Hearing none or seeing none, we'll move on. Citizen rep report. Kevin, anything to report for us this month?
I do not.
Nothing to report. Okay, moving on. Our amended agenda is now including new item 8, a presentation for an Eagle Scout project by Jaden Edeling. Jaden, good afternoon. Welcome. Yep. Okay, council, in your packet, Jaden, I'll let him explain what he wants to accomplish for his project. So Jaden, you have the floor.
Hi guys. So basically, I'm a Life Scout, and to get my Eagle Scout, I need to perform a project or lead a project. And so I'm wanting to install a communication board on the Pollyant Trail. There's a little photo of what it would be, and I'm wanting to put it on the crossroads between Lake George and the Pollyant Trail. And so on the next page, I went down there and visited the place, and I scouted out the area that I would like to place it. There's a little representation of the size it would be. And so I think this would be a great place to put it because people going by can view local events and businesses, and it can bring the community together as a whole. My project would basically just be retrieving the sign because it's already been donated, and then we would need to install it by digging 2 holes and pouring cement into those holes and place the sign in there. So the steps I would need to get this approved would first be your signature of the beneficiary, and then I can take it next to my troop for approval. I am supposed to be leading this project, but I do value it's your guys' property, so I think it's important for your say, and if you have any suggestions. I do have questions of my own, if you guys would even be able to answer.
We'll give it a try.
All right. Would Miss Dig be needed to involve for 2-3 foot holes
Yes.
in the area? All right, then I'll get on that. And then, is the location of the board allowed? Is there some regulation on how close it can be to other signs, or how close it can be to a path or parking lot?
Well, considering that the project's approved, you'll work with Trail Manager Linda Moran, and she'll guide you as far as the placement of where that sign can go, and if there's any conflict with road commission signs or DNR issues,
Okay.
or where you want to put this.
I've got a
Yes.
statement. I think if it is approved, to be able to put, it's an ideal place because it is a parking lot there.
Mhm.
And so a message board right there would be ideal.
Yes, exactly. And I thank you guys for hearing me out. I would, I just need signatures, and then that's where it goes from there, but
Okay.
we can do that at the end.
I have a couple,
Yes.
just a couple statements. Now, we have 5 message boards.
Okay.
Now, you'll be installing all 5 of those, or just the one?
I think just one is what I need, but I
Okay.
believe we can do more than.
Okay. And then you would have to raise the funds to pay
Mhm.
for the one that you're going to be installing, which is $880.
Yes.
Okay, we have pre-purchased those to save any cost increases, so afterwards you can take a look at what we have.
All right.
They're
Okay.
in the
That's
garage.
great. Are they in here?
Yeah,
Oh,
and
cool.
we can do a little field trip for anybody who wants to borrow.
Okay.
Go ahead, Constable
I
Wise.
just had one comment for Linda as she's going through it, and you'll know this too, but just be aware of where you're putting the sign in correlation to the other signs. So we can get mowers, less weed whipping, try to eliminate some of your ongoing maintenance issues. Or maybe if they put gravel underneath, it's a 2-post, then you just, no weed whipping, just nice clean mow, so.
Sounds
just-
Okay.
just kind of-
Be aware of that. Okay.
good.
All right. Thank you. Oh, yeah.
Jaden, could I ask which community you live in?
Oxford.
Village or township?
I think it's this. Oh, I do. Oh,
Oh, you're in
I
Addison?
go to Oxford High School, so
Okay.
I consider that my community.
That understandable. So you're in Addison?
Yes.
Okay, just a curiosity.
Anything further, Council? Or Jaden? You're not council, but go ahead.
I don't count, I don't count. Beyond where he would like to put his at Lake George,
Mhm.
we need to know where the other 4 would like to be placed. So each of the communities have to weigh in as to where they want to be placed.
So that's a May agenda item?
Well,
Yeah, yeah.
a May agenda item, okay, yeah. Yes, it is, it's a May
Okay.
agenda item. So think about it and get back to us.
So, council, if you are inclined to move forward with Mr. Evelyn's project, I did put a draft motion into the amended packet that I sent today, if you want to entertain that, or if you want to make up your own motion so that we can get something into the record. Secretary McDonald.
Mr. Brakefield, the young man's a resident of Addison. Maybe you'd like to make the motion, or?
I will make that motion that we approve the, oh, thank you. Getting hit at the same time. I'll make the motion to approve the request from Jaden Ebeling to place a kiosk at Milk Run as an Eagle Scout project. Trail manager Linda Moran is directed to work with Jaden Ebeling for the location and placement of the kiosk.
Support.
Okay, a motion by Vice Chair Brakefield, second by Councilor Madore, to approve the Eagle Scout project for Jason Eveling. Any further comments?
So obviously, there's already a trail map nearby. Do we have any idea what's gonna go in there? Is this like for events or for just general information? Any thoughts, I guess, where we're at on what's gonna go in there?
Well, the first thing we're gonna put in there is our Pure Michigan sign. That's going up
Okay.
in one of the corners. In the Lake George area, the Milk Run, I'd like to put something in there drawing attention to the fact that we have endangered protected species in the area, our trumpeter swans. And then we'd have like any upcoming events, ongoing trail work, if you'd like to volunteer or donate, any trail closures that we might have in that area, any running events, or, if you'd like to
Mojo's.
Bojos, anything that we're doing, basically kind of keep those updated so people are more aware without having to go to our website or they can just wander through and see what's going on. And I'd like to eventually tailor it so each one of these signs in each one of our communities has a point of interest. So like Lake George has the Trumpeter Swans, Orion has the guest house, and they have the community center right off the trail and the new pathway to the new township hall, soccer fields, a lot of different things. Oxford, we have a lot of yeah, breweries. Come here. If you go left, there's 5 breweries. You go there, there's 10 breweries. Addison, we have a lot of things that go on up there. Our corrals, our just Strawberry Festival announcements, that sort of thing. So, anything you put in there.
Kevin?
Yeah, thinking ahead a little bit, when Linda mentioned events, I'm wondering if might be necessary down the road to establish a policy, because I can see some of these requests for, runs or special events coming from the outside, ones that maybe we don't sponsor, but we do approve.
Sure.
It'd be obvious that they would want to post their, information on there, and will we just deal with it upon receiving the application, or would it be better to have a policy in advance, something to think about?
What can be done is, we can make this an agenda item in coordination with the placement for the May meeting, dual discussion, potential motion to approve a policy at our location on that. So if that works for council, then you'll see that come back in May. All right, any further for Jaden? Okay, if not, all in favor of this Boy Scout project signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Okay, Jaden. Now, if you need signatures from any of us,
I believe just you, correct?
Yep, just leave it for now.
I'll get that at the end.
Yeah,
she'll help you out real well.
I'll put in 3 spaces.
Yeah. Okay, that is one of the 2 added items to our agenda. Next item on our agenda now is unfinished business, is a website committee report. My understanding, we're going to get a slide presentation of the preview of our website. Are you running that presentation, Linda?
Well, I have it up on my computer. Mr. Snage, how do we get it on the big thing?
Oh.
So, interrupt us momentarily.
Taking a technical pause here.
A technical pause. Okay, so here's my website. Mhm.
I thought we were just going to watch the vacation.
It's on a USB, should be.
Oh, the connection?
Out of my realm of expertise.
I'm working on getting like a smart screen TV and some pricing for our budget, so we
Yeah,
can
we
get
can
that
pass this around.
Oh,
up.
you know what I was gonna ask you?
It's focusing now.
Bill box,
Oh.
what the bill is.
It's gotta be under
It needs to
video,
be-
audio.
Is there a camera out there by that box? There-
I don't believe so.
Oh. But you know what? We can get security camera funding for that too.
Okay.
But it's, not only that, it's so that it doesn't get up and walk around.
Right?
you
Or
know?
vandalized or whatever.
Yeah. Some things you're not gonna eliminate, but it's
Yeah.
by the police department. and
Well, at
it's-
least then you can have an idea who did it.
So I guess I don't know whether I need council approval or stuff like that, so I just kind of planting the seed now because
Yeah,
during
I can
election.
put it on just so they know. They all know it's coming, I believe, too, so.
Part of what I should do is,
If we could tie it right into, because we have cameras around the building, so if we could somehow tie it in to that same recording system and stuff.
see, the key is that it would be a left-hand drop-off. So I don't have to get
That's on the way out, right?
Yeah,
So you
it's on
can,
the
we
way
already
out.
have our drop box there, so right near that
Yeah.
would be fine, I
What
would
I
think.
like- What I like to do is give some data though. I can get a photo of the drop box itself, kind
Mm-hmm.
of like a little sketch drawing of where it'd like to be placed. If I can get
Okay.
security camera funding and
Yep.
get that all done, so. As far as I know, I don't have anything till February 20th.
What about the precinct you guys set up for 9 days? Where are you gonna put that?
I opted into the county. The county's taking charge to try to get like a regional location.
Huh.
That's one of those, you pass it, then you read it type things.
Yep.
And it's like, oh. I have 3 to 7 precincts in churches,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sure not gonna interrupt their Sunday services
No.
for an election.
If you're in the back,
So we're
you know, that's
just
one
pass
thing.
this around the table?
Yeah, it's Judy from MTA was at Richfield Township last month, I think,
Oh,
at
sure.
our county meeting,
Mhm.
going through all that stuff and how the Elections Commission, they got a whole room full of Post-it notes and like, oh, what about this? What about that? What about this? And then did they realize that maybe if they're maybe talking about moving the primaries up, well, tax bills go out July 1. You can't be having an election like that same week.
Yeah, what they're looking at is getting rid of May and August and going to a June election.
Yes.
So that's something that
It doesn't work.
is the legislature,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and just amazing how much unthought of items that could arise
Mm-hmm.
have happened.
Like those ballot initiatives, they get out there and people think they're great, then they pass
Hey,
them.
Mike.
What?
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, Mike,
Yes,
is that like a TV set right there?
I don't know.
If it is, if it's treated like a TV, just go to the second
This could
screen.
be a May agenda item
Now we're
too.
dead.
What?
Now we're dead.
No, it was,
Just go to the second screen, that should do it.
Well, we just did.
That's what we were trying to do.
We just did.
we had,
And
it was
now-
looking promising.
You
Yeah,
hit escape?
yeah. And now our computers are dead.
It was looking
No,
good.
it's
Is it
on.
on or not?
It is on.
Okay, yeah. Oh, it was on the screen too.
What the heck? Oh. All right, well, we're dead. I don't know what,
It was great. You were right. You had the right screen up there too.
we had the right screen. All right.
Slideshow's
Let's
postponed.
continue on, and
Tell-
we will continue with the hot mess that is, I don't know, we just completely died.
That was the right screen though.
I know.
Once you clicked the.
So are we coming back to it, or are we going
Yeah.
to,
Let's go back to it.
Let's try it.
okay,
Yeah, go back to it and we'll figure it out.
okay, let's see how that works.
We
Okay,
need a 10-year-old boy.
All right. Yeah.
Well, what we can tell you,
It's coming along.
yeah, and we've, I think we're at the point where we're getting the volunteer and the donation pages worked out, and then it should be ready to go live, I guess you'd say, or be published, so.
so by July 1, we'll be in business.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
No, wait a minute, that's July.
May, June,
Did you mean
So, June,
October?
let's, we have to have a target, a reasonable target.
60 days.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Hey,
I
Curtis,
think it'll be much sooner.
October, I think it's up and running in October this year.
You're in the committee, Aaron. What's your?
Yeah, I think sooner than that, right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. It could be, the question is should we just go ahead and go live as soon as we can?
Yes.
Even, you know,
You could always tweak it and add some missing data after the fact.
Yeah, there might be an opportunity where we send it out to the council for a week before and say, everyone, please take an hour, go through each page, like, see if there's any critiques, any edits you wanna see, one last final hurrah, and then we'll make the edits and we'll go live with it. But, I mean, it looks really nice. Nice job, so.
Yeah, appreciate you guys' help on that. All three of you. And Ed, a little bit too, till he backed out of there.
okay.
Okay, so that's, website's underway, it's coming along well. So if we can get the video up and running, we'll entertain that before our meeting adjourns, otherwise we will entertain that at a future meeting.
I can bring the computer to you and you can look around. We can't get it every time we
No,
try.
it's not, we're not gonna do
All
that.
right, because every time we try to get it up, it blanks the computer.
Okay, we'll move on to item new business 10A. This was an addition, resolution of support for a grant application to the Oakland County Parks and Recreation 2023 Trail Redevelopment Grant Program for funding of preliminary engineering of the Pollyant Trail. This was forwarded to me. Apologize, I didn't know we had to approve this resolution, so I was straightened out by Kristen Wolf. Thanks to her. In front of you is a resolution of our support to attempt to get this grant for engineering for the trail servicing for the grant. Just some insight on this. It's a $100,000 grant we're applying for. We're going to directly contribute 25% of $25,000 to that, with the potential of getting $50,000 from the Ralph C. Wilson Legacy Design and Access Fund. So with that, if there's no further questions, there is a motion in your packet if you choose to want to use that, or make up your own motion, or if you have comments. Councilman Madore.
Yeah, so looks like 25% is the Pollyant Trail option, the pending grant. So if for some reason the grant doesn't go through, are we applying for $100,000 and committing to a $75,000 match?
That is a question I asked Kristen as well, and that is a possibility.
Or, because you can't apply for both, you can't say, or give us 50,000, we'll apply a 25% match. You have to put it in one way or the other, so I just wonder, I mean, it sounds like that grant is probable, yeah? But if it doesn't come through, then I would assume that if you get they're gonna give you a 25 grand. If you just said to them, look, our project then has changed now, we're not gonna do 100,000, we're gonna do 50,000, 25 your money, 25 council, Pollyant Trail money. And I would assume that would still be okay with the grant guidelines,
I would think so. I mean,
because you're still at 50% match.
if you're receiving any money
But
at all.
sometimes they say you're putting a 75% match up, and that's kind of why you scored higher.
I can't speak for our township board, but I do oversee the funding related to ARPA for the trail project, and we do have a substantial amount funded for this, for the trail resurfacing. And to me, it's all the same, whether it's going for engineering, going for whatever it may be. So I can't imagine our board would be opposed to, if we did have a shortfall related to this, making up the difference on that, so either way.
Yeah, that's reassuring. I do know that we've got upwards of 160,000 of ARPA monies already. So even if that weren't to come through, then we could potentially use that, depending on what happens on this grant, if it goes through.
We've had some projects that have, so we've also said that any of the projects that we're doing, if they came in under budget, we were allocating the reserves towards it. So far, we've already had 2 projects that have come under budget, so
Well,
it's going pretty good for things. So.
Secretary McDonald, do you have a comment?
Just that I didn't understand until we just discussed it, but if we look up at the portion where it says the Pollyant Trail Management council general fund, 25,000 budgeted, and then 50,000 pending from the Ralph C. Wilson. We don't list where the other $25,000 coming from, but we have a $100,000 total. Well, actually, it's $10,000 total. Did we correct that error?
No,
I think it's that.
yeah,
error-
that's, there's a typo in that 100,000 anyways, there's only
Yeah,
the decimal's
right,
missing,
Right.
or the comma's missing, one of the others off.
Oh, it is.
So I'd like to suggest that we also put the Oakland County Park and Recreation grant program on that list at 25,000. What are we asking for, Linda? From them.
You want to,
May I interject, I'm sorry, but this is referring to our matching commitment funds, that's what's being listed below there. So the whereas, council hereby making a financial commitment with the matching funds as the sources, so that's what that section is. The 100,000 is wrong, I guess, right, that should be
Right,
changed to
that's
75,
gotta
is
be,
that what you're saying?
that's a typo, yeah.
So change that to 75,000 under the total?
the last paragraph on page 1,
Yeah.
The top of page 2,
top of page 2. Oh, I see, okay.
because that's referring to our matching funds, not the total grant.
Thank you, Joe, you're right. So we'll just modify, the total should say $75,000.
Correct.
So we'll correct that error, if everybody here is on the same page and understands what we're talking about, and move forward from
Well,
there.
how I took it is on the bottom of page 1, the project cost is $100,000.
Yes.
And that's where, in this case, the,
Right.
the monies that are being added up totals 100,000, not
Right.
75,000.
Right,
But you're saying that you want the total number to be 75,000 in those two numbers. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think his point was, he wanted it listed up there to come up to 100, but actually, that's referring to only the matching funds amount, so the
Right.
75 is what we need there.
right.
Then we're good.
It says 75,000 from cash or other grants. It doesn't include what we're asking from the park, so it should just say 75,000 there.
Yeah.
And then it'd be total matching funds?
Yes, that would be total matching.
Yeah.
Total matching fund, okay. So change that to 75,000 total matching funds. That way there isn't a total grant, it's the matching funds.
Because the park grants ceiling's 25,000 for this use, I believe, so.
Yeah, it was capped out, the development ones. Yeah, because again, the top of that sentence starts off with, it's hereby making a financial commitment for the following matching funds, and then they're listed.
Exactly. Okay, so then the resolution as presented, we are amending it to correct a typo, that the total amount of match would be $75,000, but our request remains the same for $25,000. So everybody's on the same page. Okay.
25,000 total match is gonna be 100,000.
Right.
Total grant's 100,000.
Right,
And the 25,000 is the.
Grant amount.
and this,
Parks and Rec.
the resolution also authorizes the Village of Leonard to submit you'll use us as the vehicle to get this in front of the Parks and Recreation, that's all. That's the main thrust of it.
So, Secretary McDonald, would you like to make that motion for approving this resolution?
I will do so. I'll make a motion to waive a reading and to approve the motion as amended.
Support.
Okay, motion by Secretary McDonald, second by Councilman Madore, to approve the resolution of support for a grant application to the Oakland County Parks and Recreation 2023 Trail Pre-Development Grant Program for funding of preliminary engineering of the Pollyant Trail with amended numbers of the matching funds, in the amount of $75,000. Any further discussion, comments? If not, we'll do a roll call on this, please, Secretary McDonald.
Aaron Watley,
Yes.
Curtis Wright,
Yes.
Mike McDonald, yes. Joe Madore,
Yes.
Ed Brakefield.
Yes.
Okay, so all in favor and the motion carries.
All right. Moving on, any luck on your website? No?
You can come take a look at it.
No. We don't want to move.
No, every time we try to link it through, it shuts the computer down. So.
Okay, so with that, we're going to move on to public comment. Any comment from the uplands? Nothing there. Okay, moving on to council member comments. Secretary McDonald, starting with you.
I think spring has sprung, even though we got a little bit of back stepping or some slide back, but hopefully the weather will get better. Councilmember Kevin Green and I were talking about it before the meeting, and we're seeing people out there in good numbers. It's not, this week hasn't been good, but last week it certainly was. That's it.
Councilor Madore.
Nothing else.
Vice Chair Brakefield.
This is a good meeting. Thank you very much for the Boy Scout. Sign up. That's it.
And Councilor Watley.
Just an update on the vault toilets. We did receive our permits from the health department and waiting on the installer to give us a firm date. The units are complete, so they're in Pennsylvania, and once we have an install date, we'll ship them and put them in the ground, so,
Sounds great.
yeah. That's it. Have a great
All right.
week.
Very good. Okay, Chair really has no comments. Appreciate the help that everybody's given along the way here for the trail itself. Linda, I'll let you do the beverage container drive results and anything else that's on your mind, but first Kevin gets to speak.
I just want to report I will not be here next month.
Okay, all right, we'll note that. All right, Linda, go ahead.
Well, I was just wanted to say that we raised $4,294 in our beverage container, which half goes to Oxford Edison Youth Assistance and the other half for the Pollyant Trail. So that was a struggle, but we got there. So it was a good thing. Anybody who wants to come after the meeting to go back and see the kiosks and the lovely new Kubota tractor that I received for my 60th birthday as a present. We can drive around the parking lot if you want. That's about it. Everything is coming up on the trail. Everything's waking up. The turtles are out in mass. I've never seen so many turtles as that are on the trail now. It's just everything's coming up. It's looking good. So, that's it.
Okay.
Easy peasy.
Well, if there's anything else, I guess we can get a hold of each other. Whatever reason that might be. So with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn our meeting at 3:42 p.m.
I'll second.
So moved.
Okay. A motion by Councilor Madore, second by Vice Chair Brakefield. To adjourn the meeting at 3:42. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, everybody.
Let me go look at